Well, folks, welcome to one more edition of Politics and Right. I'm Egberto, Willies, your host. Thank you so kindly for being a part of the show. We are going to have a great show for you today, as usual. Of course, we're going to have a great show for you today. Anyway, let's see who came in numero uno hoy. Pero ¿qué pasa? AVQ is numero uno again. My dear brother Radnin, number one, he says AVQ from Brooklyn, New York is in the house. We also have coming in number two. We have E2247 keeping us strong. And what's the apartheid that's going on, we know, in Gaza. We also have Yvette Avery Herrick coming in third at Atlanta, Georgia. And Joanne from Los Angeles, California. Lisa Blair from Atlanta, Georgia. And let's see, what else have we got here? We got Lee Grant from Montgomery County. And on the other side, Bruce Pollard is in from Kingwood, Kingwood, Texas. We also have Marge KJ. Marge, help me out here. I'm going to say near Spokane, Washington. You know, I've got to try to remember. Judith Kidain Mirian from San Diego, California. Dolores Giamato. We also have, Bruce, your son is on. Hi, Bruce's son. We have Andrea Harvin Kennington. Welcome aboard. Pamela Delio. We also have Bobby Yo, Barbara Fetante from Austin, Texas. My beautiful sister out of Austin. Mark K is Chesapeake, Virginia. There is somebody with an M in Spokane, Washington. I got to get that right. But March KJ is in Virginia. And what about Margaret? Where's Margaret from? And we got Sandra D. Welcome, Sandra. Adam W. is in the house as well. I think Adam W. is from Pennsylvania, right? I think. If I get that wrong, forgive me. Guys, if you want me to call you out and where you're from, just throw a message in the chat. I like to salute the folks that are giving me the time to spend some time here. Let's see. President Trump, this is from Boxall, and I'm glad he brought up Bean Pan from Round Rock, Texas. And Ernie Boxall, he's a MAGA guy. He says, President Trump brings the Israeli home. Now, credit for the man. He gets, you know how much credit he gets from me? I'm going to tell you, Mr. Boxall, 0. The guy is a thug, a criminal, what another judge has called a rapist. We know he's been convicted for assault on women. We know he's been convicted for stealing. Why the hell would I give him credit for anything? He allowed Netanyahu to murder genocidally tens of thousands of people. And then you are going to tell me that you want credit for a guy who, after he sold all the bombs to Netanyahu to drop on innocent civilians, after he had given Netanyahu the green light to blow up skyscraper after skyscraper after skyscraper, to decimate these lands, you want me to say he is deserving of something, that he did a good thing? Hell no. I feel so deeply about the criminality of this president. Why the hell would I try to say he's done a good thing? They don't have much more to level. They don't have much more to level. The guy is a criminal, a thug. And if you support him, I think you probably should look in the mirror. I'm sorry. I try to be as nice as possible, but when you have somebody that has affected the death of those people, where is your soul, Mr. Boxall? Where is it? What do you think about all those kids that are, look, I have already called out Hamas for the murder of innocent Jewish people. I have done that. I support my Jewish brothers and sisters. But what Netanyahu did was criminal. How dare you come on my program and talk to me about the good thing Donald Trump has done? He's an evil being. He's an evil being. And you using that kind of language shows that you may not be too far behind. Okay. Sorry about that, audience. I'm so sorry about that. But, when I hear these patriarchal men, these evil patriarchal men who look at killing as nothing. And Ernie Boxall, that qualifies as you as well. Okay? And I don't care if you fought in Israel. You may just be as evil as these people that are killing, maiming. What about those kids underneath those buildings? What about those kids that are rotten underneath there? Coward, please, you're a criminal. And if anybody who supports this guy is just as much a criminal. Okay, let's get this. Sorry about that, guys. I'm so sorry about that. But sometimes every now and then we have to plant civility to make a point. All right. Sorry about that. Okay. Mary Brommer, welcome aboard from Colorado Springs. How you doing, Mary? Thanks for being here. Harry, hey, Harry, I haven't heard from you in a long time. How you doing, my brother? Great to hear from you. Let's see. Stagan, Bergen Creek, welcome aboard. We also have Paul Fleming from Long Beach, California. Harry, thank you for being here. I've been missing you, brother Harry. Haven't seen you in a while. Thank you for being here. All right. Welcome aboard as well. Kevin Lehigh, Ernie Bishop. Let's see. Bruce, thank you for calling out Boxall for his dirty mouth. You're right, March KJ. It's a waste of time to work with people like Ernie, who has no soul, who has no morality, who has no empathy, who really, if anybody, I would be concerned to be around this guy for the evil that he supports, which means he likely represents as well. Kevin Lehigh from Grand Junction. Hey, man, we are all over the country. I love you guys. I simply love you guys. Anyway, let's go ahead and... Okay, Michael has a few things he wants me to read. BBC, Israelis delight at peace deal that would see hostages return. The deal will see release of 20 living hostages and the bodies of 28 dead hostages in return for 250 Palestinian prisoners serving life sentences in Israeli jails and 1,700 detainees from Gaza. Let's see how long until Israel starts bombing again. They will start bombing again as soon as those people are back and there's an excuse. Netanyahu's criminality. The guy is evil. The guy is a thug like our president. So he will start bombing again. They don't care about. They don't have that feeling of. When I see people hurting, it hurts my heart. They don't have that. There is something wrong with these people, my brothers and sisters. There is something wrong. You cannot see the destruction in Gaza and not see it. There's something wrong. Okay. Let's see what else we got here. Thank you for that. We also have Kefani Kiring Powell. Welcome aboard. And let's see. Bean Pan. I like your name. Bean Pan, the trident of Satan, Trump, Netanyahu, Putin. Yeah, I agree. All right, look. Somebody called into C-SPAN. Our Speaker of the House went to C-SPAN and he got a military wife, a Republican young woman, to call in. And his response left a lot to be desired. I want you guys to listen to what I call this GOP cruelty. And then we'll take it on the other side. I want you guys to see how Mike Johnson handled a caller from a woman who has a problem. She is a military wife. She has several sick kids. They live paycheck to paycheck. And all she's saying is, listen, speaker, you have a 6-figure salary. You could at least make sure that the military personnel are paid. We can't survive like this. And his basic answer was, well, it's the Democrats. I'm mad too. It's the Democrats. But you know what? This woman also says she's a Republican. You know what's sad? What's sad is even after the government is opened again, and even after what happens, if things remain the same, she will still be in trouble. I want you to listen to how this evil speaker addresses her with complete lack of empathy, and then we'll take it on the other side.
I have two medically fragile children. I have a husband who actively serves this country. He suffers from PTSD from his 2 tours in Afghanistan. If we see a lapse in pay come the 15th, my children do not get to get the medication that's needed for them to live their life, because we live paycheck to paycheck. And as a Republican, I'm very disappointed in my party, and I'm very disappointed in you, because you do have the power to call the House back. You did that, or you refused to do that just for a show. I'm begging you to pass this legislation. My kids could die. We don't have the credit because of the medical bills that I have to pay regularly. You could stop this, and you could be the one that could say military's getting paid. And I think that it is awful, and the audacity of someone who makes 6 figures a year to do this to military families is insane.
All right, Samantha.
Samantha, I'm so sorry to hear about your situation. The reason I've been so angry this week, and they've been calling me out on media, Johnson's angry. I am angry because of situations just like yours. I have a big military district, and my district is the home of the Global Strike Command at Barksdale Air Force Base and Fort Polk, the Joint Readiness Training Center. I have one of the biggest military districts and military families in America. I have a lot of airmen and soldiers who are deployed right now, and they have young families at home, and they have children in health situations like yours. This is what keeps me up at night. I want you to hear something very clearly. The Republicans are the ones delivering for you.
Now, if this speaker had a heart, the first thing he would have said is, ma'am, what city and state are you in? What I will do, ma'am, is I will go ahead and talk to some in my staff and see what they can do for you in the interim. But let me tell you, ma'am, I do want to get the government back open. But there was absolutely no feelings by this guy towards her pain, what she's going through as a person with sick kids. But let me tell you what's worse. What's worse is this woman believes, first of all, you can infer that she's likely not on full Medicaid, given that she's saying they will live paycheck to paycheck and most of her money goes towards the health care for the kids. If they were on full Medicaid, all her expenses would have been covered. But the mere fact that she says she has to get all these things covered shows that she is on something other than just Medicaid, which probably means that she is likely on some form of the ACA, and if not the ACA solely, on some sort of a plan that this guy's healthcare policy is likely to affect. And what she's going to realize is that with the cuts in Medicaid, with the cuts in the Affordable Care Act subsidies, etc., even if the government opened because of the policies of Republicans, she will be suffering even more as the policies take effect by the party she formerly supported. Folks, this is a sad day. This is a sad time. And the thing about it is, do remember, we told all of you, both those who voted for Donald Trump and those people who stayed home, we told you this is what was going to happen. And unfortunately, now that we see it happening, the death of the dying democracy, the dying healthcare system, and all these other policies we said would come to pass. Now that it's happening, the fight to recover it is going to be that much more difficult. But you know what? Those of us in the progressive domain, we don't ever intend to quit. We intend to inform, we intend to fight, we intend to protest, we intend to do all that is necessary to get these things done and ultimately get those thugs out of office, those thugs off the streets, etc. And after we have been successful, which we will, they, at this point in time, must pay. There must be a penalty for being this evil against humanity, for being this evil against Americans. They have got to feel a penalty for what is occurring right now.
All
all over country.
Now, what I really want to say, I want to play a thing for one of our people, but what I really want to say is this. We got to be civil. We got to bring people in the fold. These people are ill-informed, etc. I believe in civility. I believe that we have to talk to everybody. But there are some, like the young man that as you can see, it's still affected me to some extent. Because I can't see how people can see other people harmed, maimed, and violently attacked and not see the thing. And then I realized that these people are mentally ill. And there is a TikTok that I found. I didn't find it. It kind of came up in my, I guess it says some of the things that I do, that I want you to listen. This is a guy that I think gets it. Let me go ahead and play him. And Mr. Boxall, I hope you're still here to listen to this, because just maybe some understanding would come out of it.
I think I'm getting a little closer to understanding why men my age, particularly white men, are so angry and bitter and upset with everyone that doesn't look like them. And women as well, they're upset with women too. And I think all it is, and you get a great insight into the minds of these people when you read the comments that they post on TikTok. And so that's where I get a lot of my, I guess for want of a better word, understanding on how they think. Anyway, what seems to have happened is in the 50s, right, all the guy had to do was be a financial provider. He'd go to work, not offer any emotional support or vulnerability or awareness or intelligence, not bring anything emotional into a relationship. His component was purely financial. And that was fine in the 50s. It was great. Well, I don't think it was great, but that particular mindseted person would say that was great. And I think that's what they mean when, they say, I'll make America great again. I think it's kind of, that might be a period in time that they did consider great. Anyway, what's happened is women have proven themselves to be just as competent in that area as men, if not more so. So women are now amazing financial providers and well set up financially. A lot of women are, not all, but a lot. And that's unsettling for the average white man with an emotional IQ of a piece of wood. Because those women now no longer need a man to be a provider. It's purely that they would enter into a relationship as an equal, not as, and potentially the guy could be dependent on the woman, which makes me chuckle. Anyway, so what's happening is guys are realizing that they bring fuck all to the table, and they don't offer anything that women can't do for themselves and probably do better. So they're now confronted with this cold, harsh reality of women don't want or need them for that reason, and they're floundering. They don't know what to do. I mean, the answer is very simple. They could evolve and spend some time getting to become emotionally intelligent, perhaps. Maybe get in touch with their feelings. Could be something they might look at. But no, these particular people, these guys, they won't do that. That's too hard. So what they do instead is they blame everyone else. Blame women. Blame minorities. Blame DEI. And that's the other thing. All DEI has done is removed the advantage that they've had for so many years, where they could be a lazy ass, no-hoper, nothing going for them except that they're white and they're a man and they're in the club. So they waltz on into a job without ever having proved themselves or even deserving that position. And now they've lost that advantage. And that's the other reason why they're so angry. I think I'm getting a little closer to
Now, I think this guy nailed it. And there's one of the messages that's in there that says their anger masks their fear. And I think that is so much. And another one says the patriarchy has hurt all of us. And that is true. What we have put women through, what we have put the other through. And now that we are correcting that, we get some of what you got from that guy here in the chat. We're pretty much, you've lost your souls. Some have lost that soul where they have that empathy for others, where they care about other people, where they can see, where they can feel somebody else's pain. And that is what's lacking right now. And and a message to women, right? A message to women who are still holding on to the patriarchy. I mean, one of the reasons that our lady lost, Kamala Harris lost, you have to drop the patriarchy. It's not a necessity. You got to drop the patriarchy. And we have to work on merit. Those who are meritorious. This patriarchy and white supremacy is killing the Western world. And the rest of the world is moving ahead. The rest of the world is doing fine. We keep this false sense of who we are because we don't even travel to see what the rest of the world looks like. I want to say something before I go and continue with the real subject at hand. But you guys ought to see what our Gen Zs are doing in China and Thailand and Angola and Ghana and Kenya. Communities that are evolving, using the power of the American dollar, and our Gen Zs moving to hell out of here, where they are maximizing their worth. I've been following a whole lot of these young people and just saying, what a world. And for those that don't have that mobility, MAGA, again, we talk about red states being the beggar states, the welfare states, etc., and what I call the confused states. These people don't have the mobility because they're unable. They've kept themselves so insular that they're unable to grow. And you see what those that are decided to grow are doing, not just here in America, but overseas, in Panama, in Boquete, Panama, Colón, Panama, what they're doing. Our younger people, while others stay stuck in the maze, in the morass that the Republican Party has kept you in, and creating a MAGA base of people that can only yearn for what's possible instead of going and getting what could be yours. It's sad. Now, and when you get people that are in that domain, your country turned into what you used to despise. I repeat, your country turns into what you used to despise. This is America. If you want to see the manifestation of evil, just think about this. Kids are going to school. A mother is taking her kids to school. She's at the entrance of the school. The kid is getting ready to get out of the car. A lot of kids are around. It's the school area. We claim to believe in the sanctity of life. We claim that we care about people. We claim all these things. And this is what ICE does. Like I said, let's be clear here. ICE is the president's personal band of thugs that are terrorizing immigrant communities that are needed in this country, for the labor in this country that few others have the ability to do. And we have an incompetent president that does not understand economics, doesn't understand that his current immigration stance is decimating the economy. His tariff stance is decimating the economy. And he continues because the hate that he tries to inflict and put into the psyche of those who follow him, his MAGA base, supersedes any intellect that provides the notion that what he's doing is not only evil, but it's economically insane. But take a look at the evil within these thugs terrorizing the people in America.
Wait, you guys came to the school and to do this?
They have a warrant. They haven't asked for a warrant. My name is Jocelyn from Cicero. They don't have a warrant. They didn't ask for one. They forcefully opened the door of the truck. It was locked. It was locked.
You're being recorded. Don't get close up here. Go stay back, please. You're being arrested for the
Yeah, but
Mayor, you can hear the woman seen in that.
Wait, you guys came to the school and to do this?
They have a warrant. They haven't asked for a warrant. My name is Jocelyn from Cicero. They don't have a warrant. They didn't ask for one. They forcefully opened the door of the truck. It was locked. It was locked.
You're being recorded. Don't get close up here. Go stay back, please. You're being arrested for the
Yeah, but
Mayor, you can hear the woman seen in that.
This is America. If we had seen this on the news, on TV in any other country, because we have. Remember when we had the immigrants crossing into Europe, etc., and how with some of the countries that were seeing the influx and how some of these guards were mistreating them. Remember how many spoke about it here? How inhumane we tended to talk about certain Eastern Bloc countries in Europe. Remember that? But now we are the perpetrators of evil. Now we are the inhumane ones. Now we are the ones who profess to be Christians, but are far removed from all the words that Christianity talks about. That no person is a foreigner, that we treat the foreigner well. These people aren't even foreigners. They're undocumented, but they're actually necessary to this country. The evil within, may they all rot in a hell, whatever hell is, if hell exists. But the thing is, we trust that karma will follow each of those agents. We hope that karma will follow every single Republican leader that has allowed this evil to go forth. Karma is an interesting thing. And you know what? We will get over this, folks. We will get over this. And for everyone that has ever worked for ICE, for every Republican that has implemented these particular policies, remember, after this scare is over, after this evil era is over, we must, in a legal fashion, make them pay, not only legally, but they must be excoriated from civil society. All of our countries, yes, they must pay a price, because we need to make it that nobody wants to do this again. We need to bury the patriarchy. We need to bury white supremacy. We need to bury all that continues to put evil out here. Let me tell you, folks, when you go across to other countries and you see what they're working on, you have to continuously ask yourself yourself, what the hell is wrong with America? And I can tell you what is, right? I know all the reasons behind this. This is all economic. This is all end state capitalism. I mean, it's very clear to see once you do the TikTok on it. This is what's known as end state capitalism. We've screwed as many people as we can, so now we're coming for you. You know, so we have to create dissension among people. I keep repeating this over and over for all our new listeners, new watchers to see. This is what end state capitalism look like. As you are skewing the wealth of the country to the very few, you have to keep taking from the rest. And when the rest used to be the other, it was okay. We could have peace. But the rest is now you. And the way to keep peace with the rest being you is to have you hating and fighting against you and not those who are taking it away from you. Yes, Irut Kidan Marian, they just indicted Letitia James. I don't even think that goes to trial. Neither Letitia nor the former FBI director are going to go. I don't think neither one of them are Comey. I don't think Comey or James are going to be going even to court. I don't think so. So, folks, again, repeating una vez más. Una vez más. Una vez más. One, this will be over. But for this to be over quickly, we have got to engage. On October 18, we need to peacefully put the scare of the people into the entire Trump administration. I don't want there to be big crowds, let's say in one place, like let's say downtown Houston, very full. I want downtown Houston, the rally at downtown Houston to have a lot of people. But I want the rally in Kingwood. I want the rally in Conroe. Conroe is so scared that they decided that they had to have a new ordinance. And the ordinance is trying to reduce the size of the crowd they're expecting. I got one of our activists in Conroe sent me a message earlier today. And she said the following. She said, Egberto, check this out. This is total BS. I wonder if people would get fired up if they understood their guns will eventually be on the hit list. But then she said, urgent Conroe alert tomorrow, Thursday 6, that's today. The council will vote on a mass gathering ordinance requiring costly permits and a $1 million insurance for protests or vigils of 25 people or more. This would make free speech a pay-to-speak privilege. Show up, stay informed, and make your voice heard before it's too late. Can you share on the show? Of course, I shared it this morning on the show. And that's the way that they intend to do it. They know the people are seeing the light. When Johnson got that call, not from a Democrat, not from a Republican, not from a liberal, he got that call from a Republican. Oh my God, you mean this is going to happen to us now? They know what's coming. They know what's coming. What I replied to this lady is, look, they can't enforce that ordinance. All you guys have to do is show up. Nobody take responsibility for organizing this stuff. So who is the organizer? There are no organizers and they can't stop you from being on a public street. Get out there, people. I will be out there. I am going to be out there with the cameras recording. I am hoping we got 700 people in Kingwood the last time we did the No Kings. I want 1,000 people. I want 2,000 people in Kingwood lining the both sides of Kingwood Drive and Lake Houston Boulevard. I want people lining all the boulevards across every subdivision in this country. Because you know what? The goons, the thugs cannot be everywhere at the same time because there are more of us than there are thugs. You see, the thugs would like us to concentrate in one place where they can pick us off and use their horses and run over us and keep us quiet. That's what they want. What I'm trying to tell us all, protests in every corner. That's what we want. Sugarland is expecting between 200. Thank you, Gene Daigle. Between 200 and 2,500. They expected 200 and 2,500 showed up. That's what we want. If you are hearing my voice, whether in podcasts or otherwise, you don't have to drive a far distance to a protest. Call up a few folks and say, I'll be at this corner. Come with some signs. There are 50 of us here. Get to another corner. There are 50 of us there. Get to another corner. There are 100 of us there. We don't need to be 10,000 in one place. We just need to be everywhere so that when we do the tally says 10% of Americans showed up. We only need 3.5% for change, guys. But you got to be out there. Make October 18th your mission. I don't care if you're in a wheelchair. Make it your mission. If you're in a wheelchair, show them that you count as well. If you're in a walker, I have videos with a beautiful woman here in Kingwood. She wasn't going to stay home. She came with her walker. Another beautiful woman came with her walking stick. And she's out there with her walking stick every Thursday. But we want it to be big on the 18th of October. We want it to be big on the 18th of October. So come out here and let's get the job done. All right, I got one last video, and this one has to do with, again, healthcare and the reality that Republicans, their ideology is to let the ACA subsidies expire. That is their ideology. They don't care about people. It's about the survival of the fittest. I want you to check this out, and then we'll take it en el otro lado. Aquí lo tenemos ahorita mismo. Aquí lo tenemos. You notice one of the things that the Speaker of the House always says, Mike Johnson, is that I don't have anything to negotiate about. And you know what? He's right. He's right about that. Because as it turns out, the people who want to continue the subsidies are all the Democrats and a few Republicans, including Marjorie Taylor Greene. MTG realizes that her own kids are going to pay more in subsidies. I want you to listen to what this reporter has to say, the statements he made about Republicans really not wanting to provide those subsidies, which means these are Republicans that are telling their MAGA base, screw you. I don't care about giving you health care. I am not going to give you health care. I am going to vote no on subsidies, even as they know that most of MAGA depend on the subsidies for the Medicare, for Medicaid expansion to the Affordable Care, as well as subsidies to pay for the insurance that they're getting. They know it. They know that Connect exists. They know all these things exist. Listen to this, and then we'll take it on the other side.
Mike Johnson's mad, but I am mad too, Katie. I mean, it's crazy that in the middle of a now a 9-day shutdown, the House is out of session. I mean, it's their job to be here. It's their job to legislate. And I can make the argument that the reason the shutdown is dragging on is because there's not this pressure of members being in town and itching for a deal. And that's a problem.
Yes. Let me focus for one more second on healthcare, because that woman who called into C-SPAN was talking about how high her medical bills were. She doesn't have good credit because she's got to pay these crazy medical bills. She's worried about her husband missing a paycheck. She won't afford these crazy medical bills. It's a healthcare issue there. And I wonder at what point there gets to be real danger for Republicans, or maybe it's Democrats, for people who are worried about their healthcare premiums. I guess more Republicans, because Democrats are the ones out there arguing that they're trying to change that. It's complicated, but the healthcare issue has been kryptonite for Republicans in the past. And in fact, let me play. We just got this loaded up. Marjorie Taylor Greene blaming Speaker Mike Johnson for the shutdown.
I don't think the shutdown is popular for either side. And so I see the shutdown completely different from maybe my party leadership. And I'm not putting the blame on the president. I'm actually putting the blame on the speaker and Leader Thune in the Senate. This should not be happening.
So you're putting the blame on the leadership of your party?
Absolutely. We control the House. We control the Senate. We have the White House.
This is, a day or two after she said said in a lengthy note on social media that she's really upset about premiums. Her adult children's premiums are going to double because the Obamacare extension is going to run out. So is healthcare going to be a problem?
Absolutely. I mean, there's a lot of things to unpack here. Number one, cost of living issues, Katie, is where Republicans are most vulnerable, because Donald Trump said he would fix it immediately. And it hasn't been fixed immediately, without getting into too many of the details. That's number one. Number two, Republicans say they don't like the healthcare program that's in existence now, which is the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare, the exchanges that was passed by the law that was passed 15 years ago now. But they have no idea what they would like to replace it with. Donald Trump said today he has ideas. Mike Johnson said on that C-SPAN program just this morning that he has a 90-minute slideshow he could show you. Republicans are not going to be able to rally around a healthcare plan in this Congress. I can't imagine. It's October. I just don't see in the next 14 months a vast overhaul of the insurance marketplace. That's number two. Number three, let's be abundantly clear. Whether Republicans do or don't like the idea of extending these premium tax credits, these enhanced premium tax credits, they will be blamed if they expire at the end of the year. Period. Hard stop. It's going to be very difficult for Republicans to make the argument that Democrats should have done this when they were in charge, but we didn't do it when we were in charge because it doesn't make sense. Republicans control all three levers of government. They like to remind us of that. So if people see their healthcare premiums going from $2,000 a month to $8,000 a month or $8,000, that's not going to be something that they are looking to blame Democrats for.
Now, I want you to think about this. For all of you that are MAGA that are listening to this right now, and knowing the fact that most of you getting healthcare right now depend on some sort of subsidy from the government, whether you're getting Medicaid or you're getting your healthcare off the marketplace for the Affordable Care Act, or if you're a farmer owning your own business, that's where you get your insurance. And guess who know about it? Republicans know that. Democrats know that. But the only one wants to give you relief are Democrats. What the hell are you doing? Why aren't you actively, farmers, MAGA folks who know you want this policy, why aren't you actively on radio and TV, on the internet, and all over media saying, you know what? The people who want to give me the subsidies, the people who want to give me the support that I need are actually not the party that I actually voted in. And as such, I will do the right thing by my family. I will do the right thing by my kids. I will do the right things for my own health care, for my own health self. It is time for us to forget about the hate. The hate is something that the plutocracy has put into your head for a particular reason. It's all the economic system, and it's hard to make the connection, but they depend on your hate to screw you so that the few can succeed economically. And until you realize that, you will continue not to harm yourself, but to harm those around you, to harm the entire country. And that's exactly what they're doing, harming the entire country. Their ineptitude is causing the entire country to be harmed. Okay, that said, and Michael Rudnan says, Let's see. Democrats have pushed a single issue bill to fund our military servicemen during the shutdown. Democrats are focused on preventing Republicans from letting healthcare insurance from doubling or tripling for the American people. That's why the government shutdown continues. Well, that and the Epstein files. Exactly. Also, Gene Daigle says, I cannot believe I have now agreed with Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene now twice. And she is absolutely right that the Senate can invoke the nuclear option and pass the CR without a single Democrat voting for it, as they have used the nuclear option earlier this year and used it many times in the past. So yeah, they have the opportunity to use the nuclear option. They chose not to do it because they somehow want to have a couch to say, what can I say? Mary B says at some point it may become impossible for MAGA to ignore the truth any longer. Yep, I think we're at about that time. That's why you heard that woman that called Speaker Johnson saying, I am a Republican and how dare you get that 6-figure salary while I'm suffering the way I am. Adam says, great, former GOP election official purchased Dominion voting machines. Well, you know what that means. We're going to have to be very, very careful and be very careful. That is. Mary B says, I'll protest. I may live stream it for my 2 followers. Not to worry. Once you live stream that for 2 followers, I guarantee you'll get another 100 followers. Just keep it going, baby. Keep it going. Mary B, I'm proud of you. Go out there and do it. Adam, go out there and do it. Karen Gold, go out there and do it. Shenectady Bill. Well, what is it? Schenectady Lady. Or what is that? Schenectady Bill. Yeah, go ahead, Schenectady Bill, and get it done. Hey, I have a TikTok I want you guys to see. I love how this girl talked about this stuff. Let me go ahead and put it on real quick. I think I have enough time to show this one. Let's go ahead and do it.
So let me get this straight. We spent years screaming build the wall, tried to kick out the very people that kept the economy running, and meanwhile, undocumented immigrants were quietly keeping Social Security from...
Sorry. I thought I had the one without the music. I can't play that. But anyway, let me give you that link, and you guys can check her out on your own. I think she was so good in the way she said it. Here we go. I thought I put it in there. Come on, Egberto, ¿qué lo que te pasa? There it goes. Anyway, folks, I am done with all the videos and everything that I have I prepared for the show today. If anybody wants to give me a quick call before I shut this baby down, the number is 281-823-7747. 281-823-7747. Give me a call if anybody wants to say something, add something, point out something, release something, cuss me out for something. Oops, did I get that wrong? Let's see if I got that in there. Para ver. Okay, let me put that number in there again. 281. That is 823-7747. Anybody wants to give me a call before we shut this baby down? Anybody want to say hi? Anybody wants to call? It's 281-823-7747. I'll wait a couple of minutes before I go into my final stance. Let's go ahead and put my books on the scroll to see. Hopefully some of you will say, hey, let me go ahead and go to Amazon and try out some of his books to help him get those things taken care of. Anyway, while I wait for a call, let me just ask you to consider becoming paid subscribers of our show. Remember, we don't just do this show. We also do this show on air at 6 a.m. every morning at KPFT 90.1 FM Houston, and also here at Substack at 6 a.m. Central Time. That is on Instagram, on YouTube, on Facebook Live. So we're all over twice a day. We're also giving you the articles of substance. Yesterday, the article that really took off was the article that we wrote about the plenary authority, which meant the president can do as he pleases. That story went far and beyond. I had a couple of reporters like, kind of like that. So anyway, so folks, let's see. Egberto, are you getting proper sleep? No, I'm not. You see, are you watching my eyes, Mr. Rudnin? Are you watching my eyes while you asking me if I'm getting proper sleep? No, I'm not, my brother. Thank you for asking, Rudnin. I hope to get some proper sleep after Thanksgiving. But between now and Thanksgiving, I have so much to do. But you know what? Let me just say this. I am exercising. In fact, when I'm done with this program, I'm going to exercise. I'm going to exercise, take a shower, and then I'll come back here and write a couple of blogs that I need to get done. And we'll do that. I'm hooked on the morning show, Mary B says. Paid subscriber. Thank you, sis. Love you for that. Love you for being a paid subscriber. Well, I love everybody, but if you can become a paid subscriber, we need it. I just can tell you, honestly, we need it. So if you go to, I didn't put the link in there to become a paid subscriber, did I? If you can go to politicsdoneright.com /newsletter and become a paid subscriber, that will be, we need about at least 700 more, I think is what we need. We only have about 450 something, somewhere around there. But for us to be able to get some help, Michael is talking about my sleep. I need some more help to get some sleep, to get all the people helping me. 8 hours every night. I don't know about that, my dear Rudnin. Talk to me, my dear brother Ray Brackens. What's up?
I think I got to cuss you out.
Cuss me out, brother. Cuss me out. Hey, you can cuss me out. Are you there? All right. You said you wanted to cuss me out, then you hung up on me. All right, let me go. Apparently, there's another one coming in as well. Bear with me, guys. We may be having a little bit of phone problems here. Okay, is everybody here now? Yeah. Okay, cuss me out now.
I'm just kidding. I didn't have anything. But no, I actually really enjoyed listening to that gentleman. I think he was Australian, it sounds like.
Yeah.
But, he brought up an issue that I feel very close to now, I want to say something. Basically, I'm not an old, middle-aged white man, of course. But I do feel a lot of what he's saying about the fact that, women in this generation are a lot more self-sufficient.
Mm-hmm.
And having said that, I find it difficult for myself as a young black man to find out what is my role in a romantic relationship with a woman, because she doesn't really need me for the money part, which I'm okay with, because currently in this economy, it seems like it's easier for a woman to be able to find stability and economic prosperity than it is for a man who would have the intention of being able to be a provider for not only himself, but a partner and a family. So I agree with him in the sense that if you are a man that, identifies as somebody that should be the breadwinner, probably would feel lost and feel like anger at women for not needing for a particular purpose, as opposed to just evolving as a man and figuring out what else you can offer to a relationship.
Can I respond to that?
Breadwinner. Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me say this first of all, and thank you for saying that. And I admire that guy, that middle-aged white guy. He nailed it all, in my humble opinion, right? And the one thing I wanted to add to him is, and I think he kind of alluded to it, but he kind of kept it centralized on white men. The truth of the matter is that's not the patriarchy is not a white man thing. A patriarchy is a male thing. And it's very strong in the black community. It's very strong in the Latino community, very strong in the Caribbean community. And so it's not a white man thing. It's a man thing. There's other things with white supremacy that we can bring it. But what he's talking about, the issue with men and women not needing men, I tell you how growing up in a patriarchal society myself, and always wanting to be the provider and thinking that I would feel lost if I'm not the provider. I think that guy nailed it, right? And then I can tell you how I got over that feeling many years ago. Isn't it wonderful when you know that somebody wants to love you romantically? Not because you are going to give some sort of a money or sustenance, but just the two of you have something that is something that is not just in common, but that you just fuse together. That it didn't require that the only reason she is with you is that she knows she can get something. I mean, I find it so liberating, right? That it's like, oh, she likes me for me, not for what she thinks I can give. Isn't that a better feeling? My question to you.
Oh, absolutely. I have no debate, no disagreement on it. As a matter,
you're breaking up, brother.
A man. Oh, hello?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. No, I was saying, no, I agree 100% that, I'm glad that we've come out of times where you have to be that person. But now I want to retort with this. Unfortunately, there are a good portion of women in the Black community who have subscribed to the patriarchy in a sense of looking at a man and saying that even though I have everything I need economically, I still want a man who's able to be a breadwinner.
Look, that I think
makes sense, and it's very detrimental to the community.
Yeah, we're out of time, but look, it is something that affects the entire community, and I don't think it's a race thing. I think it's a patriarchy thing. But hey, I got to go, Ray. Thank you for bringing that up. I think that was some good substantive talk outside of our politics. Well, it's actually has political connotation, but thank you for bringing that up, brother. All right.
All right, then. Well, I'll be watching tomorrow. Thank you for the time.
Thank you, sir. All right. Okay, folks, please, got to get out of here. My name is Egberto Willies. This is Politics Done Right. And you guys know how I end this baby. I am what? Out. All of our country's problems, from polarization to ignorance on domestic and international issues to a complete misunderstanding of our economic and healthcare systems, are a direct result of a derelict mainstream media that too often bend over backwards to support corporate or bought politicians' wants as opposed to the people's needs for real information to make their lives better. Independent media is the only solution to inform truthfully and factually. Why? Because our loyalties are to you, the ones who fund us with small dollar contributions and subscriptions. Please consider supporting our independent media platforms by subscribing to our Egberto Off the Record newsletter at politicsdoneright.com/newsletter. Again, that is politicsdoneright.com/newsletter. It's an investment that pays incalculable dividends.